Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of How Do I Win? Why Did I Lose? I am here with the internationally respected and nationally feared ElvenShadow himself.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Had to find America's best Faust for this first Faust analysis. This is going to be once again at CEO 2015, just like episode one. In this matchup, the Faust Elphelt matchup, what do you think your strengths are as far as character versus character?
As in terms of Faust versus Elphelt, I think it's fairly even, and I think Faust's biggest strength is the fact that he can zone her pretty well. His long range, and the fact that he can kind of low profile some of her stuff. And just pretty much just good spacing is really important with this matchup. But at the same time, there's so many tools she has that just shuts him straight up, like straight down. So, you really got to be careful not to put yourself in really bad situations. It's more like knowing what to avoid and just don't get yourself in bad situations in the first place.
Okay. So speaking of that, what are those tools that you mentioned that she has or that you want to watch out for?
Um,
Specific things.
okay. Definitely her jumping dust is really deadly. Will beat me air to air most of the time, so I gotta really be careful not to try and contest her too much in the air if possible while I'm in air. Another tool she has that's really good, obviously, is the shotgun. The entire rifle. The
Right.
entire rifle is just ridiculous. Like Faust really can't do that much against it. Once he's pinned in the corner, he's very limited options, and even mid screen, it's really hard to stop it. Usually I'll just try and avoid it altogether and just not let her get close to me with it. Also, you got to watch out for her standing heavy slash, the pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I do pogo and it's blocked, LFL can just punish for free basically, unless I YRC or do something real quick. But pretty much she can punish it on reaction. So I got to be careful about that as well. Um, and Obviously the grenade, the pine berry, is really good.
Mm-hmm.
In this version, not as deadly simply because I can knock it away so she gets hit. But once she gets me pinned down with it, it's a really huge disadvantage for me. And I'm pretty much going to try and have to get away from it or hit her. But if she's up in my face, she can stop me from jumping out, especially with close slash. Close slash is also a huge tool for Alpha against Faust because it shuts down a lot of my high options, like high-low mix-up options.
Mm-hmm.
Because say I do like FTC kick or something, like she can just like pretty much mash it, hit me right out. Or if I try and do like say cross up FDC dust, it's really easy for Elphelt to just shut that right down. So you have to be really careful about how you mix her up and rush her down as well.
Okay. So you said, some of her best buttons, close slash and the pistol with H and jump dust. What do you think your best buttons are out of neutral, and why?
Okay, definitely crouching heavy is really good to HS, especially because it'll go under the pistol and it'll hit her out of the slide move. I think it's her crouching heavy slash, I believe, the
Mm-hmm.
one she slides across the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, timed well, it'll hit her right out of that. You get a nice counter hit, so it's good for zoning. But you got to be really careful though, not to over abuse it, especially if you don't have meter to like option select YRC it if it whiffs, because if she just goes right over it, you're kind of screwed. Um, let's see, another really good tool is just 2K. 2K is really good for just kind of poking and rushing her down with because it's safe. She can't really do too much against it, and it's pretty burst. She can't really burst out of it easily either. Um, Obviously, items are a huge thing in this matchup. You really want to get good items,
Right.
but always,
You can't always rely on
yeah,
good
right. You
enough.
can't rely on it.
Everybody's not RNGesus like you.
Yeah. So those are some of the bigger tools that are really good against her. I want to say jumping heavy slash, but the problem is that her dust will usually beat it in the air. So if you got to use it in different ways, I suppose. Like it depends on the angle, but if it's like straight head on and she does the dust, it's usually always going to win. So yeah, and of course far slash is also good, but then you have to watch out because you could slide under it. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta when to use far slash and when to use crouching heavy because with that whole slide dynamic, it changes how things are going to work out huge.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So that was the last pre-question before we jump in. I do want to add though, as far as uniqueness of you, what I've heard is, as I may have alluded to a couple minutes ago, they call you the RN Jesus, RNG, standing of course for random number generator. For those of you who don't know Faust, he throws out items, and he's got a host of different items with different hit properties and effects on himself and the opponent. And the interesting thing that you'll see in this matchup is that ElvenShadow always knows how to convert off of any of his items, no matter what point in the screen he is, and I think that's what sets him apart from, the other Faust players in general. So without further ado, we're gonna jump right into the match, and let's pay attention to the start here. 2-1.
Okay, here we go. Okay, so right now I'm backing off, trying to give him a little space because I don't want to, get pinned down too quick. Yeah, right there, he blows the bomb back up in my face, which isn't good, but I managed to get him in the corner here. Now, one thing is that I got to be careful about after going my way when Elphelt techs, because sometimes she'll be able to tech and sometimes she won't. And the distance, for that she is up is a huge deal, because if she techs out and does like slash, it'll beat like almost everything I have. So right there, you can see, yeah, how the dust pretty much beat me right out in the air, like I was mentioning. Here I'm just kind of trying to pressure on the ground, and I managed to get the scalpel pull, which is also a good tool I didn't mention in this matchup. So now I'm just trying to pin her in the corner, and you can see I got the anti-air, just trying to keep her in there. But I had to back off and give her a little space. She got the air throw, which was good.
That was kind of a lot of space.
Yeah. Now that she got the grenade on me and just kind of got me in the corner, but I managed to clutch it out with that standing kick. So
So, my question, now that you mentioned the scalpel, what's so great about that in against Elphelt?
well, if she's gonna try and throw grenades, I could straight up just hit her right out of it, if I anticipate it. So if I make her respect it, she's gonna be a little more hesitant to throw grenades out sometimes.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's definitely, it controls a lot of space from far away on the ground, and she doesn't really seem to have much that can outright like stop it like that.
Hmm.
So it's good to kind of just throw out there.
So now at the end of that round, what move did you say you used again?
Well, let's see right there. It's standing kick.
So what do you think Hotashi was trying to read there? The fact that, so the standing kick Aaron block over him, correct, off a whiff from his jump. I'm not sure which jump move it was.
I couldn't really see. It's still slightly choppy. It's not as bad as it was. So if you want to rewind it, I can.
So right there.
Okay, he does bridle. Then he did jumping slash, but it seems like his
Okay.
timing was off. So I was able to just punish him pretty much.
Oh, okay, so that was just a mistake on his part.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't an actual read. All right, so jumping into the second round, obviously round up, so you got some breathing room.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's see how you start. All right, so backdash.
Just kind of backing off because I don't want to just try and jump in and get hit by jump dust and get pinned down. Right there, you can see how I just got beat out by her close slash, and now he got me in the corner, but I didn't want to even deal with that rifle, so I just bursted right away, and thankfully it worked. See, that there with the scalpel, I blew him about his grenade up because I hit him when he was trying to throw it.
Okay.
Yeah, right there he bursts out, and now I'm just kind of trying to keep him pinned down. But once again, the jump dust gets me again.
Okay.
So here I hit him with the far slash, keeping the pressure going. I did the standing kick, and now he's got me in the corner with the grenade, and yeah, he got the throw or the unblockable hit, and now I'm just pretty much screwed because I have no defensive options. I have meter to dead angle, but there I should have actually FD'd. That was a nice setup he did there that I haven't really seen much before, kind of a reset. And if I FD'd, I probably would have been able to get away, but I didn't, so that was my bad.
Okay. So round 3.
So here you can see her jump slash is really good. And right there, he would have been able to punish me with his pistol, but he was a little hesitant, so I was able to get that forward pogo hit in.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
you actually messed up there. You just got lucky. Is what you're saying.
not exactly. I mean,
or
I
you
guess
did
yeah,
something
I
unsafe.
made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did something that wasn't really that safe. Okay, so volley items once again. The dust, and now I'm just kind of scrambling to get away.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's got me pinned down.
Oof, and
I go
gets
for
a
the
break.
burst, but it just missed him. It just whiffed. He was just outside it, so that wasn't good.
Looking good for you is that he turns around and does the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's carrying me to the corner again,
And
and
then throw.
yeah, I got the throw in.
And then and he
Just
turns
real
around
quick,
and
I
does
get
the
hit by
same
the
thing.
bomb. Yeah, and then he finishes it off with the
Okay.
dust. So you can see how many of the big turning points in this match are just getting hit out of the air by that dust. Because once I get hit by that dust, he's gonna just throw the grenade, and then he's just gonna get the right or the shot or yeah the rifle out, or not the rifle, the shotgun out. And the shotgun is just a huge
Damage dealer
it's
and
huge
mix up
dealer,
tool.
and it puts Faust in a huge disadvantage. So you just want to avoid getting in that situation at all costs. So you really got to watch out for that jump dust, because it's one of his biggest tools to lead up in that situation.
Okay, so do you think going into it more you're going to start you know faking jump ins and dash ins in the air and just faultlessing or
I do remember when I reviewed this match that I do start to try and go for a little bit more like higher mix-ups, trying to test out if he's really going to abuse his close slash, and it ends up paying off pretty well. And my mindset going into the second match was I made a lot of execution mistakes too, and just little things that, like, I know if I just didn't do like misinputs or screw up little tiny things that I could have taken that one. So I wasn't really feeling too nervous or like getting myself down. I was pretty much just thinking like, okay, I'm still in this. Let's just do it. So, yeah, but you could tell he was feeling himself after that first.
yeah, I mean, you're like I said, you're kind of a big deal. I know you're staying humble, but in the U.S., if you play Guilty Gear, like yeah, you know the name ElvenShadow. So, all right, yeah, but in the game two, another backdash from you into an item. It's
Yep.
interesting because he always back. It seems like he backs off at the start
Yeah.
of every round
Doesn't
too.
wanna, yeah, maybe he's just hesitant to get in my face. Because he probably also doesn't know the matchup as well. Um, yeah. So here we go. I got the throw in. And now I'm just pressuring him on the ground. See, now I went up for the cross jump dust, and it worked, but then he bursted. And actually, in that situation, if I was to hold down back, I actually could have blocked it and punished his burst. So that was my bad, because it's
Okay.
not burst safe. So now, yeah, once again, see, there's that jump dust. It's so
Yeah.
crucial. And now I'm just trying to just avoid it with the bomb and throwing bomb bags. That was a good teleport, and I catch him with the jump cane air combo, or stand cane air combo, trying to keep him in the corner, but once again, that jump dust knocks me right away. And here he is rushing me down again. There you go. You see how the crouching heavy slash went under his pistol, which
Behind.
is, yeah. And then here I actually dropped the combo there. I meant to do pogo after the crouching dust, because it would have comboed to killed him, but I accidentally did like jump something, and that was a mistake. That was execution. So yeah.
And
So,
yeah, that could have been pivotal, especially because if he gets the right touch, Elphelt's never out of it with her
oh, sure.
giant damage
I,
output.
I should have closed it out right there. So yeah, I was kind of kicking myself, but I was glad I was able to just keep it going and keep him in the corner, and I got the hit for the kill. So yeah,
Okay, so going to the second round, you guys both back off again. That's
back off, hammer.
you guys have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah, now I'm just fishing for that long hit when he throws the grenades. Out of range, but it worked out in my favor. Once again, I got the grab.
Yeah, those are starting to work out in your favor a lot too, which
Yeah.
is interesting because it's usually one of his strongest points.
Okay, so
That
okay, I
you,
can jump 2K, and then once again get hit out with the dust, and now I'm in the corner again, and this is where I don't want to be. But somehow I hit him with 2K, and then he bursts. Then he gets that super right through my scalpel, but then he gets hit by the trampoline, which was pretty amazing stuff. So it worked out in my favor, kind of, with the trampoline there. But here then he gets me in the corner again, and I think he closes it out here.
but you're able to jump before the explosion of the pine berry. So
Yeah, I was just trying to get away. I did not want to get pinned down. Oh, that's right. No, he doesn't close it out. Actually, I win this round. I
Yeah,
come back
he didn't
and I get.
chase you into the corner or anything after that knockdown. That was like the pivotal knockdown.
Yeah, and I reacted exactly when I saw in the corner that I threw the big 1,000-ton weight or whatever. I know that's going to be an unblockable. All I have to do is just get him in hit stun on the ground, and then as soon as it hits the ground, he's out of block state, and then I can just combo from putting him in hit stun right in or blocks in the hit stun. So you just do like crouching 2K in the air, or sorry, down 2K in the air, and then you just go to going my way and wall spat, and then you get a free air combo. So yeah, that was a legit unblockable setup from reaction, just because I knew when I saw the item right away.
Yeah, I remember actually listening to the commentary for that. The commentators actually went nuts. They're like, "Oh my god, was that a block? Was that a block? Oh my god!"
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that was a very hype surprise.
Yeah, I always like when that situation comes up because it's always pretty much favorable for me. So
So now here's another player thing. Before we see how you start the round one of game three, going back talking to Lord Knight, he was saying he's the type of person that wants to get the download on his opponent as soon as possible. So he said like by this point, by game three, he says he had the download. So that being said, would you say you're like a downloads type of person? Do you think you're gonna back off again, or do you think like you got it now, like you're going in?
well, I feel like I've gotten a good feeling of like what to expect now. And I'm pretty good adapting at long sets. I'm much better at long sets than I am at one and dones. So, um, yeah, by now I'm feeling pretty comfortable. But I don't think I can't remember how I started this round, but I think I still try and respect him because, as you have seen many times, one of the biggest things that ends up, shutting me down is that jump dust in the air. So a lot of Elphelts will use it right away and just start the round with a devastating blow that knocks me right down, and then they're right on me with that grenade. So, like I said, the key to this matchup is to not get put in those situations. So I think I'm trying to play it a little more safe,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that I think I have confidence in my neutral game and my zoning game from long range. So I feel like I'm better off just giving them a little room because I feel like there's less risk involved, and I think I'll come out ahead
Okay.
by putting myself in more of the neutral situation. Because once he's on me, I don't have a lot of options, and I don't want to use my burst right away either. So I believe I backdash again, but let's see what happens here.
All right. Let's see. Oh, jump
Oh,
forward.
I did. Okay, maybe I was feeling myself. I don't know. All right. So yeah, I guess maybe I was thinking he was starting to fear it a little bit more, and I kept seeing him jump back. But
Right. That's what I
yeah.
was kind of getting at is that while you were respecting it and playing it from that angle, but at the same time, it's like okay, after you've seen him go backwards so many times.
Yeah. And once again, I get that throw. It's pretty crucial. And now I'm just trying to keep him in the corner. And
Oh,
then the meteors. So he could have punished me that time, and with the pogo. But I saw that I knew the meteors were coming, so I was actually trying to bait him to try and punish it. And then the meteors would hit him.
it's almost like
So
hidden missiles.
yeah, it's kind of like hitting missiles. So okay, so yeah, here you see how he slid under the far slash. I was talking about
Right.
earlier.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing. What I was saying about after going my way, you have to be really careful about how she techs out, and that's why I did that four punch, anticipating him jumping out and doing that slash, but it ended up whiffing. So that's something I got to be more careful about.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess I just clipped him with the jump kick there, and then going into round two, I think I back off this time maybe.
Yeah. So this match point for you. So, even if he were to win the next round, he would, then it would go to a more tense situation. So right now you're still pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
So all right, let's see. Backed off. Yep, you're correct.
just backing off.
I
Okay, I
think
get
he's
the
backed off 100% of the rounds he has.
yeah. So then I just tried to play good footsies in the air with the bomb
Mm-hmm.
and pulling him up. Now I get put in the corner, which isn't good. Gets the air throw. Now I'm pinned down again. Just trying to block it out, but I get swept. And then I burst out because I don't want to get corner carried. And then another bomb for me. So now I'm
So
just kind of zoning with the bomb.
So that was a good door that you did, right? So you're starting to get your back close to the corner, but you were still in neutral. So that was just kind of you didn't do the attack with it. You just kind of did it to get back to mid screen, yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The teleport's a really good tool in this match as well, but you got to be really careful also not to use it too much
Because they'll start
because
punishing it, baiting it
you're
out.
punishing it, and also if you do the air one, if a good Elphelt is on their game and they react to it with close slash, it'll just shut it down really bad. So it's definitely a good tool to kind of get around the screen and get away from corner pressure if you have enough room before they get in on you. But you can't abuse it too much. So I used it sparingly in this
Mm-hmm.
match.
All right, so you get a black hole.
Yeah, I get a couple black holes. I think another one comes
Yep, in the corner too.
in the corner here, and then I'm just keeping him in there. Try not to let him get out. And I dropped the combo there. It is a combo here as well. When I tried to, I think I did like 2K and it whiffed, and it was supposed to be like another jump K or something. But then we did more scrambling, and I just kept him in the corner, and I was able to kill him there with the jump heavy slash. So pretty much, yeah, I just stayed on him.
Okay, so at the end, so you take that one 2-1. Um, would you say that by the end of the round, now you didn't know much about him going in. I think you did play him one game in teams at final round, but
Okay.
but yeah. So you didn't know much about him going in. After playing him, and based on like other Elphos that you've played, Nerd Josh, Kid Viper, uh,
Mhm.
etc. Like, how would you say you play against Hotashi differently? Like, you play the matchup obviously the same at the basic level, but then
Mhm.
against the player, um, how do you play it differently?
Well, I guess at least in this specific match, like I said, I didn't really feel like I knew his style that well at the time, so that's why I was giving him a lot of space and just trying to play the neutral game. Though I did, against him, I felt like I was able to do like high mix ups a little more because he wasn't mashing on like the close slash to stop me with it. I think for Hotashi, he might not know the Faust matchup as well as some of the other um, Elphelt
Yes.
I fought. I think Hotashi plays her more of he relies just on her basic neutral game a lot, and he doesn't use say like the rifle as much as a lot of Elphelts. Like especially Kid Viper and Oso, they use the rifle a lot. And I think unlike Doran, who's really, I mean, Doran's really aggressive and he just rushes you down like at any chance he gets. Hotashi's a little more kind of tries to feel it out and just tries to play more of a zony neutral game. But I think because of the fact that that's one of my biggest strengths, I was able to come out ahead. So at least that's kind of my impression from the little I played him. I played him in some casuals at Evo, and then, it was fun, but I won. I think he's a solid player, and so I really can't comment too much because I haven't played him at great
At
lengths.
length,
Some
right?
players, right? So maybe if I played him in say like a first to 10 or something, it'd be a lot. I'd be a lot able to give a little more insight about me versus him specifically. But at least as far as this one specific match goes, like I said, I was just trying to play the neutral game and not put myself in a situation that is going to be really difficult to get out of.
Okay. So in closing remarks, what are some pointers that you want to give to other players that might be wanting to pick up Faust, or just learning Faust? Like, what were some obstacles that you faced? Was he just always your character, or did you consider like, oh, I don't want to play him because like this, and this, and at any point during practicing in the
So,
beginning?
so you mean just like Faust in general, or Faust versus Elphelt,
In
or
general, in general.
okay. Well, I mean, I've been playing Faust for a really long time. I picked up Faust in Guilty Gear XX in 2001 or something like that, 2002, pretty much right when it came out on PlayStation 2. I actually played before Faust. I used to play Milia very briefly, and then I tried Faust out, and I was like, oh, I really like this character. I like the long range pokes. I love the items. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, I mean, I think what new Faust players really need to learn, first of all, is really learning how to utilize the faultless defense cancel because it's such a crucial tool for movement, for mix ups, for all kinds of things. Learning how to maximize his mix up game using it with highs and lows, using it like an empty jump into throw. Um, Also using that tool as a mechanic to slow down your falling, and especially against Elphelt. Actually, like say for example, I'm in the corner and I'm getting pressured by the rifle or the shotgun. Okay,
Mm,
I don't really have much I can do to just throw out there and outright beat it safely. So I'm probably going to try and jump away, especially since she can't jump in that stance, right?
mm,
And then, well, once I'm above her, I got to come down very carefully because she's got that. I think it's the slash in that stance that where she swipes the gun up. That'll pretty much hit me out of anything I throw out. So what I got to do is float down slowly and time it so that it's in between when he throws that out and when he's vulnerable,
mm.
and down with like a jump dust. So that's like an instance where that float's useful. Also against like say Zato when he's got little Eddie out and you're up above it. Don't try and contest little Eddie. You're not gonna win.
Right.
You want to stay in the air as long as you can and just pretty much
Run the timer.
run the timer out on his little eddy gauge. So you're going to want to throw bomb bags and use that float. That float is extremely important. So, and there's tons of other examples I could give, but just knowing how to utilize that tool for mix-ups, for movement, learning how to use it to stop your air dash is also a huge thing, especially against like Venom. Say, for example, I'm up in the air and he's throwing all kinds of crazy balls at me, and I'm air dashing and I'm trying to dodge the balls like it's a bullet hell shooter. I got to put the brakes. I got to put the brakes on right away to sometimes just get past like a certain ball so it doesn't hit me or put me in block stun. So I
Yeah.
might dash and then break right away, and then maybe float down more using it more. So it's a huge tool that really you got to master to play him, because if you didn't have that, you would be a lot worse, I
Yeah.
think. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Other than that, yeah, like you mentioned before, people have, I guess, referred to me as RNGesus, but it's not like I have any more luck than anyone else. It's random, right?
Yeah.
It's not so much what you get. It's how you react to it and use
Convert
it.
off.
So you got to learn to see what item you get as it's coming out, not as it's coming down. As you throw it
Mm.
up, know exactly what it is, know what situation you're in, the distance, the angle it's being thrown at, and know you have to just react right away. Like, how am I going to utilize this item to the best of my abilities? And if it's a bad item, you got to think, well, how am I going to be able to put myself in a position where I can recover from the bad toss?
Okay.
And so that's a huge thing too, knowing the optimal setups off what items you get. And that's just something that comes from experience. Also watching high level players. I would watch a lot of Japanese Fausts and see how they use it. Especially like Nage, he's really good at utilizing his items in combos and setups. So that's another huge thing. And this may sound like a stupid suggestion, but learn how to block, because as a Faust player, you have to learn how to block. You don't have a DP. You don't really have a lot of reversals. You have maybe your Scalpel Super, which is not always a good choice, because if they jump over it, you're kind of screwed as you swim across the floor and they punish you for free unless you can YRC it right away. But then you just ate 75% of your meter.
Right.
So learn how to block well with Faust, and I guess as another reversal tool you can use is Standing Dust. You know how it has invincibility frames, so his Standing Dust will go through a lot of things. And now that especially that YRC's in the game, if you Standing Dust YRC, you can go through a lot of things and then just punish accordingly based on what they threw out that you went through. So that's another thing that you really should learn how to utilize as Faust. Other than that, it's just kind of learning the basic zoning game. Knowing what pokes to throw out when, knowing what anti-airs to use against what characters and what situations, because Faust has like 5 good anti-airs, but they're not always going to be good depending on what you're trying to anti-air. So really just learning how to use his normals is a huge thing, and what beats what. So but I think those are pretty much the basic kind of things to get started on, other than specific matchup things. If you can get those things down, then you have a good start. So
All right. That sounds great. Thank you so much for joining me in episode 2. And for those of you guys who are tuning in, also, since this is still very new, I'd like to hear from you guys on things I could improve on to help make the show improve, whether aesthetically or during the interviews or during the video analysis. So leave suggestions in the comments. Please like if you like, and I won't ask you to subscribe yet. I won't ask you to subscribe until I'm feeling myself. I'm not feeling myself quite yet. So hopefully you guys tune into the next episode. I am Zerk, and I'm signing off with ElvenShadow.
thanks for having me. Look forward to seeing more videos.